I totally get that. That's an ugly charge. Clearly, I didn't do that to my mother.
All right. Good afternoon, Mr. Roberts. Is that you?
Good afternoon.
All right, sir. Would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and your DOC number.
Hi, my name is Clifford Scott Roberts, 557-956.
Sorry, Mr. Roberts. I'm Cheryl Renatza, serving as chairman of your parole panel today. We're here for a revocation decision. My colleagues on the panel, Mr. Roche to my left, Mrs. Jackson to my right. I'm going to read the allegations against you, after which you'll enter a plea of guilty or not guilty, and then we'll have a discussion before we make a decision. But first, do you have a parole revocation question there before you, in front of you?
I do.
Is that your signature at the bottom of that page dated August 2nd of this year?
It is.
Okay. So are you ready to proceed with the revocation proceeding without counsel present?
Yes, I am.
So let me just read the allegations you enter your plea, and then we'll, Mrs. Jackson will take the lead on the interview. You're accused of violating condition number 4. First, on February 3rd, 2022, you admitted to using marijuana and oxycodone for which you had no prescription. How do you plead to violating condition number 4?
Guilty.
And then again, condition number 4, on July 20th, 2022, you committed the offense of simple battery of the infirm. On October 3rd, 2022, you pled guilty to the amended charge of domestic abuse battery and were sentenced to 4 months parish jail, credit for time served. How do you plead, sir?
I plead guilty, ma'am.
Okay, well, did you answer Mrs. Jackson's question?
Good afternoon, Mr. Roberts. First, let me ask you, you paroled on March 26th of 2021, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
And what were you serving time for?
4th offense, DWI.
And you have been in jail on this parole hold since July 21st this year?
Of the 20th, yes, ma'am, close enough.
Okay.
I've been on parole 16 months
Fine.
without incident.
Well, not without incident. So you didn't appear at your preliminary hearing. Why not?
I had COVID, ma'am. I had the COVID just manifested itself maybe 10 hours before, and it was to my understanding that I thought that they were just going to reschedule it, and I was on the quarantine tier, and that was it. I would never have missed that by conscious choice, for sure.
Right. Well, you pled guilty to both violations. Would you like to make a statement about those violations? First, the use of marijuana, oxy. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Oh, well, ma'am, as far as the oxy is concerned, my girlfriend died April 26th. My girlfriend of 5.5 years. She had the prescription for them, and I unwittingly took one. I feel great. I smoke marijuana on occasion, admittedly. And as far as yes, ma'am, that's, I'm not sure I answered your question.
Okay, and you pled guilty to simple battery, which was a reduction from simple battery of the infirm, and the victim was your 81-year-old mom. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yes, ma'am. Now, on paper, that looks ugly, but it was in my best interest to plead guilty.
Let's stop right there. Have you gone to your preliminary hearing? And I understand from your explanation, it's no fault of your own, but they introduced evidence that they were called out to your mom's residence, and they spoke to your mom, and they also spoke to the other person who lives in her, I think is your sister. Is that correct?
No, my sister does not live there. No, ma'am.
someone else was there.
It was my sister.
Okay. Okay.
My sister gave statements and she was not, ma'am, I'm very confused at what's going on. My sister gave statements. She wasn't even.
Your mom told them that you got in a way and you headbutted her, and the officers observed a large hematoma, which is a large swelling on her forehead, and you pled guilty to having committed a simple battery against your mom.
Ma'am, I understand that on paper that looks terrible. I'm a 195-pound man. My mother is a small Italian lady. If I headbutted her, there would be an injury. Our heads inadvertently collided and it was her fault. I don't feel comfortable sitting here trying to blame her for it or going over it again. I plead guilty to spare my mom from having to come to court. And because it was a misdemeanor, and I wouldn't do that to my mother or ever put my hands on my mother with malice intent. And it's
Robert.
a complete misunderstanding.
Okay, Ms. Roberts, all I can go by is what your mom said to the police, what the police reported in their police report, and their observations of the injuries to your mom, and the fact that you went to court and you pled guilty to the simple battery. Now, I understand there might have been some reasons that you thought it was in your best interest to plead guilty, but the bottom line is the battery on your mom is a violation of the conditions of the release, as is the drug use. That's all I have to answer.
Is there any other statement that you'd like to make, Mr. Roberts?
That my mom and I have, we talk almost virtually every day. I mean, I love my mom to death, and this is just a misunderstanding. There's been a lot of hurt in the family, and that was a first and a last time. I have no history of domestic violence. I'm 55 years old. There will be no other history in that, and I'm just not a violent man in that regard.
Thank you for that. I think that we're Mrs. Jackson.
All right, Mr. Roberts, I've heard what you said, but I have to go on the record that I have before me. And according to that record, you deliberately headbutted your mother in a bit of rage. You, in fact, pled guilty to a charge of battery. And by your own admission to your parole officer, you told her the oxy and marijuana. So I found that you violated condition 4 of your parole. And my vote today is to revoke your parole.
Mr. Roberts, you have pled guilty to violating condition number 4 of your supervision contract. Therefore, I'm going to revoke your supervision.
Mr. Roberts, I do concur. My vote also is to revoke for the reasons that have already been stated. So today, sir, your parole has been revoked. That completes our business at St. Tammany. It's 2:28 p.m. We will adjourn.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.